Hello and welcome to yet another little recent pickups video. I'm gonna show off all the games I bought here in July and in August, as well as the movies. And especially movies I went crazy on these past couple of months. I generally bought a ton of stuff, and that's because I had my summer vacation here in August, and I wanted to buy a lot of stuff I could just use in vacation. I decided very early I was not gonna do anything. I was just gonna watch movies and play video games and just do absolutely nothing. Drink a lot of good beer and wine and eat a lot of good food. That was it, not doing anything in my vacation. And so far I've done that. And now just gonna show up what I bought. Didn't buy that many games, but I did buy a ton of movies. So let's just start off with the games, I guess. A PS4 game I bought was Song of Horror. I think this has been out for a while on PC, but it's recently been released on the PlayStation. And I bought the deluxe version where you get the game, as well as a little, I think it's like a character book, and is there also an art book? No, there's a character guide where you can read about the characters in the game, and you play as different characters, you can choose from them, and there's a guide about that, and a little map guide also about the game. And it's like a fun little horror game. It's not amazing, but I had fun with it, the little I have played. If I can get this back in again. Holy crap. Go! Another game I also played a little of that I didn't have that much fun with is Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders, where you play Hercule Poirot. I think I pronounced that somewhat right. Maybe not. Anyways, I love the TV series with David Suchet, I think his name is, who plays Hercule Poirot. And I really love that. I've been meaning to get into other stuff with Hercule. And yeah, the game seemed like obvious. It was super cheap and it wasn't really that great, honestly. I haven't played that much so far. It could be, I mean, there have been many games where I started and they were not good, but as I've given it a couple of hours, they get better. I don't know if this is one of those, but hey, there was. And another game that I already own a version of, but I just got a different version of it, and that is Deadly Premonition for the Xbox 360. And the cool thing about this is the original version. Like most versions you see today is the director's cut version, which has added some stuff and I think improved the gameplay a little bit, added some costume for your characters and stuff like that. And this is the original version of it, where the combat should be a little more, I don't know, old schooly. I think the director's cut upgraded the combat system as well as added a couple of cutscenes or something like this. And this is just the original version of that, and that is kind of cool. And it's also definitely the coolest cover for this game. I really like that. The Raincoat Killer with the axe on the cover there. Looks really badass. Really weird game. I mean, great fucking experience. Terrible game. If that makes any sense. Love the story, love the world. It's so weird and Lynchian. The gameplay, that's awful. But I think the sequel is even worse, honestly. But great experience. I don't know how to talk about that. Alright, I'm just gonna grab a little handful here because a webpage I sometimes buy games on, not that often, had a sale on their DS games. And it was mostly like cheap DS games, and these are the ones I got. The Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, Prince of Persia, Forgotten Sands, the Harry Potter Deadly Hallows, and probably the best one, Ninja Gaiden Sword. Again, I haven't played much of these. These was just like $3 each or something like that, and I was like, you know what? I'll get these. They were brand new when I got them. I opened them. I don't think they're like worth anything, but like $3 a piece, I think that was worth it. And Ninja Gaiden was probably the best one. They also had a Duke Nukem game that I ordered, but that never got to me, and they don't have more on their storage. So I was pretty bummed out about that, because that looks like that was going to be the best game. But oh well, I got this instead. Where to put them? Another game I got to add for my movie license video game collection, and it is Iron Man for PS3. I already have this for PS2, and what can I say? It's not a good game, honestly. It's not a good game. It seems somewhat similar to the PS2 version, and yeah, what can I say? As a kid, I would probably have loved this game. Now, I don't really want to play this more than I have to. Alright, The Darkness for the Xbox 360. I already have this for the PS3, but it's a game that I played maybe 1 or 2 years after it was released, and I wasn't really hooked on it, and the latest years I've been more fascinated with it. I never got around to play the sequel for the game, and I've been meaning to do that, and but before I do that I want to replay the game, so I bought it for Xbox 360 just to see if it was any different. It has yet not gotten a PC release, which is a little bummer, but hey, now I got it for 360 and I can play this maybe on my Xbox One. I don't know if I can, but we'll figure that out. And a game that I streamed not that long ago. It is the Harry Potter and the Phoenix Order for PS3. And what can I say? I was really excited to get this. It's one of those that are a little harder to find and a little more expensive. And I've heard a lot of people say that this is a good one, and some people even say this is their favorite Harry Potter game. But when I played it in the stream, I was not really having that great of a time. I felt more like a janitor at Hogwarts, going around fixing vases, putting up pictures and stuff like that. More than any wizard hero stuff. But then again, I only played like an hour of the game, so I don't expect it to like be amazing in the first hour. Maybe like a couple of hours in, it opens up a bit more. But I didn't really like the control scheme. Like you had to do with the joystick, you have to wiggle around like I guess if it was a wand or something. And that felt a little weird, but oh yeah, I'm glad to have it. It's one of those Harry Potter games I haven't played yet, so hey. Fucking Harry Potter.
This isn't the right book. This is from
the fuck! It's not the right book! And the only new game I got for my PS5 these past 2 months were Tormented Souls. Ooh. This is like, I guess it's an indie game, but it seems like a high-end indie game where it's very much inspired by Resident Evil and maybe also a little Silent Hill, where you play this woman who wakes up, or I guess she goes to like an abandoned asylum or hospital or something like that, and there are monsters and shit. I've only played like the first half hour of this game. It seems super interesting. It doesn't seem like a game I would be good at because I really suck at the original Resident Evil games. But really love the aesthetics of the game. The asylum hospital thing looks fucking great. The enemies also looks really cool, and yeah, I'm interested to play more, but I don't think I'm gonna be good at it. I finished it, maybe even, but it looked really interesting. So yeah, I got it, and also just so I could add something for my PS5 collection. All right, Daymare 1998, isn't it? 1998? Yeah, it is. The Black Edition. This is the Daymare game that was released a few years ago, and honestly, when it was being released, I was really into how it looked. It looked really cool. Like it was made by people who loved the original Resident Evil games, but made it like feel more modern and something like that. I don't know, but it looked really cool. It got like mixed reviews as far as I remember, and I've been meaning to get it. So yeah, I have it, and this is the Black Edition, which comes with a couple of like leaflets or something, like character cards, and I think there was some stickers with it as well. And yeah, little cool version to get. I haven't really played much of it so far. I haven't really gotten to any combat. I recorded a little gameplay to put in the video, but other than that, I haven't really delved that deep into it. So let's see if I can close this one up. And this is a game that I bought because one day I sat straight up in my couch and was like, wait, I haven't bought a Dreamcast game in like years. And so I went online and I found this thing, The Evolution of the Sacred Device, which is a JRPG for the Dreamcast. And it seems like it has like a fun, cute little art style, and kind of like a dungeon RPG where you walk around, and maybe not dungeon RPG, I don't think that's what they call it, but a JRPG where you walk around, meet enemies. And again, I've only played like 30 minutes of it so far, and people seem to really like this, and I was really happy to get it. It looks pretty cool, and I think it's something like that's gonna go up in value down the years. And it's made by Ubisoft, which is weird. It's weird to see Ubisoft on like a Dreamcast game. It makes me forget actually how old Ubisoft are. I feel like they really went into their more prominent or bigger years around the PS3 era and then forward. But hey, kind of fun to see it on an older game. And a VR game I bought, Psychonauts, the Rumpus of Ruin. And I bought this because I recently just played the very first Psychonauts, because the sequel was set to release here in like a week ago or something like that as of this recording, and it looked really cool, the sequel, so I decided to play the very first game to see if that was cool, and I actually never got around to play that, and it was fucking awesome. I really loved it, and that really got me hooked on the sequel, so I hurried up and bought this one because I found out that this takes place immediately after the first game, and the second game takes place immediately after this VR game. And normally I don't really play that much VR game. I mean, I play games to relax and enjoy myself. This was bloody awesome. Like, it's like a puzzle kind of game where you play as Rasputin, who can mind control other people, or he can jump into the mind of other people and see out of their eyes, and he learns abilities under the way abilities he used in the first game, like like telekinesis and like what do you call it? Psychokinesis, firekinesis. No, he can light shit on fire, basically, and it's really fun. I really enjoyed this. Probably one of the best VR games I played in a while, and it's like less than 2 hours. I think I like played this in like an hour and a half, like 90 minutes or something like that. I beat this game, so it's short. It's on the short side, but I really rather prefer a game like this rather than an 8-hour VR game where you have to like wail around with your arms because. Yeah, I want to play video games to relax and not to I don't know, get stressed out, I guess. So yeah. Alright, that was all the video games. I do have another game, however, but it's not a video game. It is a bloody board game, a Lord of the Rings board game based off the books, I take it, when I look at the cover. Am I turning this around? No, okay, the backside was turned around. And based off the book, apparently. I don't know if it has been released before the movies, but it's definitely inspired by the books and not the movies, which is very cool. And I haven't played this yet. As far as I can see, all the pieces are in it, and I guess everything Lord of the Rings related is gonna have some value, at least to me and other fans of the movies / books and the media. And there's this board where I had to go from the, I guess it's the Shire, where this is back end, and all the way to Mordor and Mount Doom, and there's a lot of stuff in this. Maybe one day I can find someone to play this with me, but oh well. We have like a little map here for when they meet the big spider, and when they are at Mordor and stuff like that. It seems like I don't play a whole lot of board games because I can't find people who want to play board games with me, and also I think I suck at board games. So it's just really cool. It was not that expensive in my opinion, and if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you owe it to yourself to something like this. Really cool, and hopefully I can find someone who want to play this with me one day. Gå nu væk med fucking sirener der, mand. Jesus Christ, kør nu! There's like 5 different sirens going off. I have no idea what's going on. That's crazy, what the fuck is going on? Alright, that was the video games and one board game. Let's get into the movies I bought, and I bought a ton of movies. I haven't counted them yet, quite a few, most of them are horror movies. There's also a couple of comedies, and a couple of musicals, and other cool stuff, a couple of TV series, so let's get through this. A movie I bought, a horror movie that I had watched quite a while ago, You're Next. But I know owned this, and I remember watching this back in the day and thinking like, it's alright, it's not bad, it's alright. And lately I'd heard a lot of people say how amazing it is, like people online and just other horror fans say how amazing this movie is. And I was like, I remember it being alright, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'll just need to rewatch it again someday. So I bought this, it was relatively cheap, and I watched it, and my opinion is basically the same. I guess it's just alright. It's nothing super amazing, it's about a family reunion where I guess it's the parents who invites all their adult kids over for their anniversary, and then people in the woods starts attacking them and a lot of stuff goes on. A really well crafted movie, good characters, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't tickle my fancy that much, honestly. It doesn't really do anything to me that I would say make it a super exciting, super good movie. But well made. So I guess that's that. Another movie is The Midnight Meat Train. I actually thought I had never watched this, and then again, a couple of YouTubers I liked who talks about movies started talking about this like very short time of each other. So it's like, okay, maybe I gotta see if I can find this somewhere. And a week or so later, I found this really cheap at a flea market, and I picked it up, and here it is. Again, I thought I had never seen this, and people talked how great it was. But after I started watching it, I realized, oh yeah, I have seen this. I have seen this before. How could I forget? And it's a good movie, don't get me wrong. It's about this photographer dude who, I guess he takes pictures for newspapers and stuff, but he's like an artist and he want to take like artistic pictures or something like that. And he ended up taking pictures of this dude down there who is a killer. And I don't want to spoil it. It's like a very crazy movie and a very good movie, honestly. Another movie I've seen before but never owned is The Wishmaster. This who was it? With Wes Craven, yeah. This movie is so fucking weird and good, I guess. It was super cheap. It was like 3 kroners, which is, what's that? That's like 50 cents or something like that. I don't know. Usually I would go for something like this on Blu-ray, but for that price, I got it on DVD. And it's about this woman, I guess, who unleashes a genie or jinn who grants people wishes, but of course they turn out bad, and it's a horror movie. And what's his face? Robert Englund and also Tony Todd and Kane Hodder are in it. Tony Todd, they're like bit pieces. They're not like main characters, but it's fun that they are in this one, and really like it. And honestly, I think this is an underrated movie, but and now I have it on DVD. Another movie that has really intrigued me, and I don't think this has been released in my country yet on Blu-ray or anything like that. It has been in like in America and United Kingdom and so on, but it just hasn't gone around to Denmark yet. And it is Possessor. And I'd been meaning to get this, and I almost wanted to pay like the expensive price for a brand new copy of this, plus the import fees and whatever, to get this from like the UK. But luckily, someone else has done that, and they sold this at a flea market for like $2, and I picked it up. So fucking happy to do that. I have not watched this yet. I have heard like a little mixed things about it. Some people like praise it to the sky. Says it's amazing and has some good body horror in it, and really enjoy it. Others said they're not really that excited by it, but oh well, I'm really excited to have it, and been meaning to get it, and now I have it. The dude who also sold Possessor also sold Looper, again for like the equivalent of $2, and it's a fun little time travel movie with I cannot remember anyone's names. Bruce Willis and the other dude who I cannot remember and don't really care enough to look for it. And it's about this like in the future people have time travel, and they send like people to the past, to like the mafia send people to the past for them to get murdered and to hide their bodies, because that's easier to get away with than try to hide their bodies or get away with murder in the future. And it's a cool premise. And I really like it. One of the better like movies with time travel in it. Really cool. A Japanese movie I got was Audition. I have actually never watched this, but a lot of people say how amazing it is and how brutal and really dark it is. And I actually watched this last night, and it's a good movie, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's as brutal as some people may say it is. And it is brutal, but it's not that brutal. Maybe it's just because I watched a lot of crazy shit over the years and I'm like desensitized to it. But I think this is like baby's first steps into like really hardcore movies. Fucking sirens are coming again. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on? Maybe I should like check up on the news after I'm done recording here. As I said, I think this should be your first step into like brutal movies, and then you can maybe take it a few steps further with like Human Centipede 2 or the Sabian movies and so on. There are like a lot of other movies that are way more brutal than this. Martyrs, for example, which some people have said it has similar vibes. I don't really see it. Maybe a little, but not that much. And yeah, I got that one. A crazy action movie I got, and I got it on 4K because why the balls not? Godzilla vs. Kong. Unfortunately, it wasn't playing in any of the movie theaters in my local area, so I never got around to see this in the theaters, which I think it would have been fucking awesome to see it in the theaters, especially with like the sound of the monsters coming around. And what can I say? It is a fun little action movie with monsters kicking the crap out of each other. There are like a lot, as it always the problem with these new monster movies, the people are just boring as fuck. This is probably the best one, but there's like a whole section, like the girl from Stranger Things, I forgot her name, Millie Bobby something, I can't remember. She's from Stranger Things, she was also in the last one, King of Monsters. Her whole section could pretty much have been cut out. They don't really add anything to the story. They do something like very near to the end, which I won't spoil, but they don't add anything. Her and her group of characters that she meets up with, just completely fucking pointless. Cut that out and you could save maybe like half an hour of the movie, and it'd probably been better for it in my opinion. Other than that, I think it's really fun. Whenever Godzilla and King Kong is on the screen, it's just fun monster movie with them bashing the shit out of each other and other monsters, and it's good fun. Good. Next time, cut down on the people. Cut down on the people. That sounds dumb. Okay, a movie based off a game. Dante's Inferno, the animated epic. I guess the game is inspired by the Dante's Inferno. So I guess the game inspired by a poem, and the poem, this one is, you know what I mean. The Danish Inferno, which again is a game I think is super underrated. And here's a movie. I seem to remember having watched this like years ago. I never owned it. And it has this cool thing where it changed the art style and the animation style. Like, I think at some points it's like 3D animation, and then it's like a different 2D animation and different 2D animation. Like, it seems like it was made by several different, like, it says here, 5 animated sequences. So it's like one full movie animated by 5 different people of 5 different studios or something like that. And it's a really cool concept. I like it. And I haven't watched this in a while, so I'm excited to see if it's as good as I remember it being. So, that is. Alright, another movie I have watched before, but I was intrigued to watch again. It's Moon. It's about this dude who is alone on like a moon station on the moon, funnily enough. And he kind of goes a little insane, or that's so he thinks. Another movie I've watched before and I've been meaning to get, and it is Moon. And it's about this guy who is on a space station, I guess moon station on the moon, funnily enough. And he's been there for quite a while, a couple of years I think, and he's starting to go a little crazy, or so he thinks. And there's a twist in it, and it's super cool, and I'm not gonna spoil it. Really well-made movie, especially for like, I think this has like an ultra low budget. And you wouldn't know watching this, or maybe I guess a little you could see it, but it's so good you don't really think about it that much. I really recommend this if I could talk, which I never can. Ooh, another movie I got, and this was good. This was way better than I expected it to be, and I expected it to be really good. And it is the Blob, the remake. I have watched the original. And for some reason I never gotten around to this, and I don't know why. Because this thing is bloody amazing. I love this movie. I watched it twice. I watched it again the day after. I watched it the first time. Really love the practical effects of this. It does have some effects near the end that does not hold up at all. But in the middle and in the beginning and in the middle, there are a lot of great effects that are just really terrifying and really cool looking. And very intelligent horror movie characters. It's not like in other movies where like, use your fucking head, you moron. This is like a very well-made movie, and yeah, what can I say? Watch this. I think this holds up so well. Maybe again, except for a couple of the effects near the end, but for a movie that has so many great effects, you can forgive that. Honestly, it's so ahead of its time. And so fucking brutal. They kill a kid in this, and it looks fucking horrible. Alright, another really great movie I got was The Wicker Man, the original one, not the one with the fucking Nicolas Cage, which was awful. I have actually never gotten around to see this one, and that was mainly because I was scared a little off by by the remake, which I've seen, and I've seen it a couple of times, and it's really, really bad, and Nicolas Cage is like so fucking dumb, and what can I say? I never really got around to seeing this because I hated the remake, but holy crap, this is an amazing movie. It's actually a bloody musical, if you would believe it. There's like a ton of songs in it, and the version I bought here is like a 3-disc version where you get like a Blu-ray with the final cut, which is the longest version, which has a couple of scenes and songs that are not in the theatrical cut. It also has the theatrical cut and a director cut. And the 3rd disc is a soundtrack disc where you get all the songs on it, and it's really fucking cool. Really well made, really well acted, intelligent characters, and the meaning of it is so bloody brilliant. And Christopher Lee, who's in this, a very young Christopher Lee, looks bloody brilliant and plays bloody brilliant. And whoa, what a departure from the fucking Nicolas Cage one. Holy crap. That one is so fucking dumb, especially after watching this. How could they ever think of remaking it like that? Alrighty, a movie I got. People say it was like the best, but I loved the movie before this, and it is Peninsula. That's not how you say it. It's supposedly the sequel to Train to Busan, which is an amazing zombie movie. One of the best zombie movies that has been made in like the last couple of years, and this is the sequel to that. And I have not watched this yet as of this recording. I've heard very mixed thing about this. People usually say it's not as good as the first one, but rarely movies are, or rarely sequels are. So yeah, I got it cheap, and if the zombies are in the same style as in the first movie, where they are like, I think they're all like played by dancers who did something really cool with their bodies, like twisting and turning them so it looked really fucking creepy. And if they do the same in this, if it's not like the fucking boring zombie does, then I'm happy. Then I'm excited to watch what they're gonna do with this one. Another movie, Batman: Death in the Family, and this is apparently an interactive movie. I did not know that when I bought this. It was on a sale, and I love Batman, and I had not really heard anything about this. But when I got it, I can see that right there. It says interactive movie, which I haven't really done a whole lot in. There's like that many. But the most known, I guess, is the what's the one? The Black Mirror one with the what's it called again? Bandersnatch. There is on Netflix an interactive movie which was a really unique and interesting concept. I really like that. I have not watched this yet, so I'm interested to see how it's gonna turn out in this movie and how it's gonna work. But I really like it because, again, this is the Death in the Family, which I guess is based off the, was that Death in the Family or Death of the Family? I can't remember. There's a difference, I can't remember. But that was this comic book back in the day where people could vote in to see if they wanted the Robin of the time to live or die, and they voted him to die, which kind of created the whole Red Hood character, and you probably know all that bullshit. And again, here is another chance for people to choose for what's gonna happen in the story, and I really like that. I really like that idea, but I don't know if this is gonna be good. So hey, there it is. The other Batman movie I got was Batman Ninja, a really pretty Batman movie. I tried to watch this a couple of years ago while it was on Netflix. I fell asleep under it, and it doesn't mean it was bad. It just means I'm old. I can never stay awake for movies anymore, and especially when I'm like home late from work and on a Friday evening and just want to watch the movie, and I fall asleep usually after like 30 minutes in it, and I never got around to watch the other half of the movie, so I got it now just to see it. Can't really remember how the reviews was, but from what I remember, it was a pretty movie and interesting to rewatch. The fucking most crazy movie I've seen in a while. Tetsuo and the sequel, The Iron Man... Oh wait. Tetsuo, The Iron Man and the sequel, Tetsuo Body Hammer. That's how it is. I've only seen the first one so far. It's like an hour black and white movie, and holy crap, that is... I've seen clips of it online, and it's like the most crazy fucking movie I have ever seen in my life. not seen the sequel yet. I bet like the first movie is only an hour long. The second one is like, I think it's an hour and a half, 80 some minutes, so a little under that. If that's in the same style or made in the same style as the first one, I don't know if I can get through it. I watched the first one. I enjoyed it to some degree. I think it delved a little into the territory where it was a little too weird for me to keep up with what was happening. And even though it only was like a little over an hour, it felt like I've been there for like 2 hours watching this. And it's really weird, but so unique still. I mean, I kind of want to recommend it, but I don't know if I can, to be honest. Just look up a couple of scenes online and see, like, it's basically that, but for an hour or something like that. And I don't know what the sequel is about. So yeah. Whoa, such a crazy movie. A movie classic that I actually never watched, and it's The Wizard of Oz. That almost rhymed, didn't it? I don't know. Anyways, Judy Garland, all the bloody characters, it's like a masterpiece. People say it's like one of the best movies ever, and classic, bloody classic, and I have not watched it. So it's about fucking time that I got around to that, don't you think? So yeah, that's why I got it, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to the day when I'm gonna watch it. And a TV series I got, holy crap! Dun, dun, dun. The Alfred Hitchcock Present, Season 1 to 7, the complete collection. This was like a series, I think was like back in the 60s when it started, or something like that. And I guess it's like a collection of short stories. I don't know, I haven't watched any of this yet. I found this again at a flea market, and the guy was asking like maybe $11 or something like that, maybe $11-12 for it, the equivalent of that. And that seems so fucking cheap for this thing, for this entire box of like 7 seasons of like Alfred Hitchcock. And I don't know what it's worth, but it was a fine price for me, and even if it's not that great, but it gets like, I think it's get like really good reviews online, which I also like looked up. So I think it's gonna be a very fun and awesome thing to watch when I get around to that. 7 seasons collected in this box. Damn, I think I made a good deal here. Alright, let me just move this stuff a little closer. And here is Freaks from 1931, I think. It's in the 30s. I know it's in the 30s. And this is Todd Browning, who I'm also pretty sure was the guy who made like the first Frankenstein movie. I guess technically not the first Frankenstein movies, but the one you know, like with Boris Karloff, and yeah, really fun. And this movie. Silence again. I'm about to go down there and figure out what the fuck is going on around here. It sounds fucking crazy with all the sirens. Anyways, Freaks. Really cool movies. Contains a lot of like real life, I guess I'm just gonna call them freaks. And I don't say that to hurt anyone, I'm just saying because it makes it easier. Like a freak show artist and the stuff. Really cool movie. It's short on the short side. It's about 60 minutes, like an hour again. And it's famous for like a big chunk of the movie missing, or like a big scene near the end because it was cut out because I think people said it was like too horrific or something like that. And that scene has actually been lost over time. I think people have told what was happening. I think people know what was happening in the scene, but the scene did not survive like over the years. So there's only this kind of incomplete version, to be honest. And again, it's a very interesting movie. Really fun to see like the freak show artist and all that. And I said this before to like people I know. I think if they want to make movies like about real life events, I think a movie about how this movie was made could be fucking awesome. About how the actors was cast and found perhaps, and just the struggle on life on the studio set with like the bigwigs, the producers, and other actors perhaps like who are uncomfortable with working with the freak shows artist. And it seems like something that would be really fun to make like an Ed Wood kind of movie out of. And I really love this. I really love the story behind it, and I would love to see a filmatization of that. And this is just a movie. What do you call it? dramatization, filmatization, I don't know, fuck it. It might not be a real word. I would love to see a film based off the creation of this. And that's about it. Fun movie. Watch it if you can find it like relatively cheap. It's not something you should go out and like burn a lot of money on, but hey, there it is. A movie I got, or like comedy movie I got, actually two. It is the Cannonball Collection with the first and the second movie. And I think I remember owning the first movie on VHS back in the day. And it was fun. It's like a fun little car movie where they get from point A to point B, and a lot of fun stuff happen around it with a couple of famous actors. And I think most people know this movie, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I haven't rewatched this in like years and years and years, so I can't remember everything that's happening, but I do have some certain scenes that I just can't remember. So yeah, another movie I expected to be good, but still just ended up blowing me away, and it's The Little Shop of Horror. Again, I've seen the original, and I also seem to have remembered having watched this back in the day. But after watching this, I knew I have not watched this because I would have remembered it. This is like so fucking brilliant. It's a musical version of the original Little Shop of Horrors, and starring like a ton of people like Rick Moranis, Ellen Green, Vincent Gardina, and Steve Martin, who is probably the one most people know. And brilliant fucking musical. The puppetry on the Plant Audrey 2 is amazing. Frank Oz did such an amazing job with this, and I think I actually seem to remember that the dude who did the effects for this movie also did the effects for the Blob, or like at least some of the puppetry or like work with the Blob, and it shows because holy crap, it's a fucking amazing what they do with the flower. It looks so fucking good. Like fuck CG. This is like a beautiful puppetry of a plant or movie, and I know if they had to do this again today, Audrey 2 would be like CG, and that's terrible. And also Levi Stubbs, who I think is the guy who voiced Audrey 2, is an amazing singer. He does such a great job singing as Audrey 2, and this is a really, really great movie. Cannot recommend this enough. It's fucking awesome. And while we're talking about musicals, I also got Grease 1 and 2 for Blu-ray. And again, I love the first Grease movie. It's a good-ass musical. I love musicals, if you didn't know that. Never watched the sequel. I heard people say it's bad, but some of the songs should be pretty good. So yeah, that's it. Love Grease. And back to Little Horror. Prince of Darkness, a John Carpenter movie that I actually never watched. And I think I seem to remember people say this was pretty good. Honestly, when I watched it, I was maybe a little let down. I had hoped it would be better. It's fine, don't get me wrong, but I had hoped it would be a little better. It's about this priest who finds this vial in the cellar of this church that contains like the essence of all evil or something like that. And he gets a couple of research students to help research or like check out the vial, and shit goes down. And again, it's a fine movie. I just hoped it would be a little better. Again, a couple of movies based off video games, and it's Dead Space, Downfall, and what's it called, Aftermath. I watched these before. I actually owned one of them on DVD, and now I just aim to get them on Blu-ray. The first one, the Downfall, right? Yeah, it's actually pretty decent. I can't remember really the Aftermath. I cannot remember the names today. I cannot remember if that was good or not. But hey, I love Dead Space, so I got this. Oh yeah. This is a comedy I got because I'd seen a couple of scenes online, and some of the scenes looked pretty fun, and so I decided to get this. And I could just have stuck with seeing the scenes online. This is Major Pain. It's like what's this about? It's about this dude who is like a military, like super soldier dude, who gets put in charge of I guess it's the military branch of like a school or something. Like it's a normal school with normal students, but they also have like a military branch or something like that. Fuck it. He gets put in charge of those kids in that branch, and he runs them hard, and of course they get to like each other and stuff like that, and It's kind of like something you predict, but there are a couple of fun scenes in it. But yeah, I could just have stuck around watching them on YouTube. It's not really an amazing movie or anything like that. And here we have Shadow, made by the same guy who made Hero and House of Flying Daggers, and I like those movies. I don't love them, but I like them. Especially like the martial art in it. It's like very artistic, almost like a ballet, and also very unrealistic with like how people fly around almost with their swords and stuff. And so excited to get this one and watch that. A little slow in the beginning. I think like it's 2 hours long, but I think it only starts to really get going after the first hour, which is a shame. It's like very slow to begin, especially like if you're watching this for the martial art. The story with the emperor and the general and stuff like that didn't really hook up with me. I did like it when they started to fight a bit more, and that's honestly why I got it, because I wanted to see like crazy fight. I saw the trailer. They did some crazy things with like these metal umbrellas where they almost slink them off, like what do we call those? A spinning top or something like that. And it looked pretty cool. And it's half cool. It's a half recommendation, I guess. Alright, a little box set I got here. Vincent Price in 6 Gothic Tales. If you told me to make a list of my top 5 favorite actors of all time, Vincent Price would be on that list. He is, I mean, I love Vincent Price. He is amazing. And this is a little collection of some of his movies. It's not some of his best movies, I gotta say. It's like The Fall of the House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, Tales of Terror, The Raven, The Haunted Palace, and Tomb of Liega. And again, some of these I have been meaning to get, and buying them one by one on Blu-ray is like almost like, I mean, The Raven goes for like almost half of what this entire box goes for. So I just got the box, and Vincent Price is amazing. He can do like, he does like comedy and horror. It's to perfection. He really knows how to like work his face. That's like in the Tales of Terror, where he plays this like wine dude who is really good at tasting wine, and it's like he plays that dude so fucking funny. And in other characters, he just plays so serious and really works up the horror. He's such a versatile actor, I gotta say. And I fucking traffic out there. And I wish I owned more movies with him. But here's a little stack more for me to own. Alright, we are getting a good way through. There's still quite a few left. And let's just rush a little through them. Hobo with a Shotgun. This is like a Groundhouse movie with this crazy hobo dude who buys a shotgun to clean up this crime-filled city that he lives in. And it's pretty fun. I watched it years ago and decided to get it. Yeah. Relic, a German version of it. Have not seen this yet, but I heard good stuff about it from people that I trust. And it's like a horror kind of movie, but it's kind of weird horror kind of movie. What Keeps You Alive? I have never heard of this, but it was super cheap, so I bought it, and I'm interested to see if it's good or if it's bad. The Virgil, same story as before, never heard of this, but I'm interested to see if it's good or if it's bad. The Lady Vanishes, and another Alfred Hitchcock movie. I also bought that together with the TV series Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and yeah, it was super cheap, and I got it, and it's a movie that takes place on the train. I love movies that take place on the train, so yeah, cool. And another John Carpenter movie is In the Mouth of Madness. I have watched this before and I really liked it. It seemed again like a lower budget kind of movie, and it's really good. It's about this, I guess he's an insurance agent who is like hired by his company to check out like the claims of a book company who claims that one of their biggest profit authors has gone missing, and apparently you can insure your authors. I don't know how that works, but apparently it does. And the agent is hired to go and figure out where the author is, and it gets really crazy and really weird. And I'm just starting to ignore the fucking sirens. It won't stop. It just won't stop. A movie collection I got, the Sci-Fi Collection, and it has the movies Oblivion, Ex Machina, Elysium, Chappie, and Battleship. Now, Elysium I know is pretty decent. Chappie I seem to remember was pretty decent. Battleship I think was pretty bad. And Oblivion I can't remember. I don't think I ever watched Ex Machina or Ex Machina or whatever it's called. So yeah, again, super cheap, so I got it. From Beyond, H.P. Lovecraft's From Beyond. Again, a movie with Jeffrey Combs, who I love that dude. Again, an actor I just love seeing and stuff. And I have not watched this, but I heard it should be pretty good. I guess they open up a dimension, like their research team, and they open up a dimension, a door to another dimension, and shit gets fucking crazy. And yeah, been meaning to watch this, and finally I have it. Holy crap, this is like one of the best TV series there is, in my opinion. I watched it years and years ago, and honestly I've forgotten about it, but I just suddenly fell over it and I was like, oh god, bye! That's it! That's the one I saw those years ago, and it is Psychoville, which is like super crazy. It's about like this group of like random people. Like the first season is about this group of like random people who get a note like, I know what you did, something like that. And they get tangling together, and it's so fucking crazy. There's a clown with a hook for his hand who is hilarious, and it's a comedy series with a hint of mystery and intrigue, and it's really bloody brilliant. They could probably, like, I mean, after watching season 2, there are only 2 seasons. After watching season 2, they could definitely have made another season, in my opinion. But it doesn't feel like it needed it, but they could probably have gotten away with making another season, in my opinion. And I really like this. I really recommend, if you're not watched Psychoville yet, go watch it. It's so fucking fun. Okay, and another Jeffrey Combs movie is Reanimator for Blu-ray. And what can I say? This is probably the movie that Jeffrey Combs is the most known for. And with good reason, it's a fucking awesome movie. What can I say? I've watched it many times, but I never owned it. It's always been like something I had like recorded or watched online or something like that, and now just feels like I wanna own this. I wanna really own this, and can't wait to rewatch it again. And I think this one contains an unrated version and the integral version. Don't know what that means. And yeah, now just need all the sequels. I don't remember how many sequels there are, but hey, really looking forward to rewatching this again. Alright, 4 more movies and then we're done. This has been a pretty long video. Anna and the Apocalypse. Not watched this yet. Apparently it's like a musical and a Christmas movie and stuff. And yeah, seems to be pretty crazy. And don't know anything about it, except that some people say it's good. So, and it's a musical, so I just got it. And here we have Mama, with my fellow countryman Nikolaj Coster-Waldau in it, and who you probably know from Game of Thrones. And really, again, a really well-made horror movie. Gotta say, I watched this before, and then I found this super cheap, so I'm like, why not own it? Why not own this movie? And yeah, I really love this, or like this. Love is a strong word. I really like this movie. And another little thing I've been meaning to own for quite a while, and it is the collection of the Tintin movies, the animated movies. I watched all of these as a kid. I actually, a couple of years ago at a flea market, I found a woman who was selling all of them on VHS, and I got them because they're just a fun collectible. And I'd never owned them on DVD. I do now, and it's so nostalgic. Tintin is like this adventure kind of journalist kind of guy, adventure journalist who goes around and he solves like mysteries or do a lot of stuff, and it's already been really fun, really well told stories. And yeah, now I have a little collection here with all the 21 adventures with Tintin, and yeah, happy to have this. And the last one, we are finally at the end after a long video here. It is H.P. Lovecraft Necronomicon, also with Jeffrey Combs. Don't really know a whole lot about this. It's kind of hard to find. I think you can find the VHS version, but it's kind of expensive. DVD is a little more available for what I can see. But finding the Blu-ray version of this, at the time I looked, there was like only like 2 or 3 sellers I could find on eBay, and I'm pretty sure 2 of them was like the same seller. So really happy to get this. It's a little on the expensive side, but I'm intrigued to watch it. I have never heard of this until I saw someone talk about it in a video on YouTube, and I just had to go out and get it. And yeah, I treated myself to a movie that was a little on the expensive side. Don't know if it's good, but it has a couple of cool practical effects that I remember seeing in that video, and maybe I'm seeing this one tonight if I have the time. So yeah, that's it, and that was all the movies. Jesus H fucking Christ, I never thought. That was a point where I was like, I'm never gonna get through all this, but I did. Holy crap, I bought a shit ton. And the reason why I bought this many was, again, I've said this in the beginning, it's my vacation. I'm probably gonna not have that many games and movies for the next couple of months because I gotta save a little off from the money that I spent these past 2 months, and that's life, I guess. But holy crap, a shit ton there is here, and a lot of cool movies. I went movie heavy again. I have honestly been starting thinking about doing something more movie related with my channel, but I don't know if people would be up for that. I'd like to maybe not review exactly, but just talk about movies that I like, and I feel like that could be fun, but I don't know if that's something people want to watch. Who knows? Maybe just do it for my own sake. Like most videos I make, I do it for my own sake, but it feels best to make something that other people also want to watch. So let me know if anyone want to hear me talk about like a dumb horror movie or something like that. And yeah. This has been it for this video. If you've been sticking through the bad English, you're a real hero. Thanks for watching and take care.
Take